For years, the heart sought the cup from us. That which it possessed, it implored from strangers.
Wow, that opening line from Hafez just hits you, doesn't it?
It really does, that paradox. Seeking something you already have, it's incredibly profound.
Right. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're focusing solely on the wisdom packed into this single verse by Hafez Shirazi.
Indeed. This is our 29th deep dive, drawing from those fascinating conversations between Dr. Dinani and Dr. Larijani on the Mahabbat program. 40 discussions in total, and this one zooms right in on Hafez.
And just a quick heads up for everyone listening, this is a translation of philosophical discussions originally in Persian.
Yeah, so some nuances, some cultural specifics, they might not translate perfectly. We do apologize if anything feels a bit off, but we're doing our best to capture the essence.
Absolutely. It's a shared journey of understanding. And Hafez, he has this incredible knack for making these huge mystical ideas feel so accessible, almost simple on the surface, yet endlessly deep when you start unpacking them. And this opening couplet is a perfect example. So that first line, Dan, Oltin Salk, on Eshond, for years the heart sought the jam from us. Let's start there. Years. Why the emphasis on such a long time?
It suggests this isn't just a fleeting desire, is it?
Exactly. Years points to a sustained, almost chronic state of longing, a deep, persistent yearning from the heart.
And the heart here isn't just the organ, right? It's us, our core.
Precisely. The E is the core of our being, and it's making a demand on ourselves. It's seeking something from us. That's a crucial point. The seeker and the source are, in a way, the same entity here.
Okay, so our own inner self has been searching for something from ourselves for ages. And what it's seeking is the day, the cup. Tell us about this jam. I know it's often called the jammy jam.
The jammy jam. Yes. Yeah. Mythologically, it's this legendary cup, supposedly belonging to King Jamshid, that could reveal, well, everything. All the events of the world, past, present, future. It's a powerful metaphor for complete knowledge, total insight.
Like a crystal ball on steroids? Or, I don't know, maybe a flawed modern analogy is like wanting the entire internet, all knowledge in one place.
That gives you a sense of the scope, maybe. But the philosophers take it deeper. They suggest the real jammy jam, the true container that holds everything, is the human being.
Whoa. Okay, so we are the cup. Our existence itself.
Our very being, yes. Our potential. Think of the concept of the Kis-Sin, the perfected human. Individuals like, say, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, are seen as embodying this potential, containing the reflection of the entire cosmos within their being.
So inside this seemingly limited human form, there's the potential to hold everything. That's a huge idea.
It is. It shifts the whole search inward. Which brings us perfectly to the second line. That which it possessed, it implored from strangers.
This is the real kicker, isn't it? The paradox. Seeking from the the stranger or outsider, what you already what you possess. You said bigani here doesn't just mean enemy.
Correct. In Hafez's mystical language, it simply means other than oneself, anything external. So the heart, possessing this potential for the jammy jam within, is looking for it outside itself.
Oh, why? Why do we do that? Look for completion in, I don't know, material things, other people, external validation, when the potential is supposedly right here.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It seems to be a fundamental human tendency. Perhaps we don't recognize our own inner wealth. Maybe the external is just easier to see initially.
It seems easier, yeah, more tangible.
And this actually connects to a well-known Quranic verse, roughly. We will show them our signs in the horizons, K, and within themselves in Kfus.
Okay, signs in the world and signs inside us. How does that relate?
The interpretation discussed is that the journey often starts externally. We observe the world, the horizons, the afak. We learn through our senses or interactions. But that knowledge, ultimately, where does it land?
Inside us.
Inside us, in the infused. The external world acts as a trigger, a mirror maybe, but the true realization, the actual possession of that understanding, happens within. We are the locus of knowledge.
So we gather data from outside, but the synthesis, the understanding, the jam itself is internal. We are the mirror reflecting the universe.
Beautifully put, yes. The potential for that complete reflection, the jam, is an inherent capacity we need to recognize and cultivate within our own being. Not something to chase endlessly outside.
Okay, this is making sense, but how do we activate this inner potential? What's the mechanism? Does intellect play a role?
Absolutely crucial. Intellect or reason is key. Think about it. Animals have senses, sometimes far sharper than ours, right? A hawk's eye, a dog's nose.
Sure.
But do they possess the Jam-e Johannama, the world-revealing cup? Do they grasp the totality of existence or reflect upon their own being in that way?
Yeah.
No, because they lack in the human sense.
So aqwal is what allows us to process sensory input into understanding, into this world-revealing capacity.
Precisely. And the philosophers distinguish between different levels of aqwal. There's Yuwa, partial intellect, the everyday reasoning we use for practical tasks, navigating the world.
Like figuring out how to fix the sink or balance the budget.
Exactly. But then there's Ukor, complete or divine intellect.
Right.
This is a higher faculty capable of profound insight, spiritual understanding, grasping universals. And this Aqwal Kamil is what's connected to the Jam-e Jam, fully realized in the Insan Kamil.
So our reason isn't just practical. It has this higher, almost spiritual dimension that unlocks the inner cup.
Yes. And it's really important to dispel a common myth here. People sometimes think mystics like Hafez were against intellect, against Aqwal.
Well, you hear that sometimes. Heart versus head.
But that's a misunderstanding. They weren't against Aqwal itself. They were often critical of getting stuck only in the partial, worldly intellect, Aqwal Juzi, and neglecting the higher potential. They valued divine, compassionate intellect illuminated by spirit. Even love, Mahabbat, is seen as connected to this higher intellect. The heart, the dil, is sometimes called the heart of intellect.
The heart of intellects. Wow. So they're deeply linked, not opposed.
Deeply linked.
Mm-hmm.
Reason and enlightened intuition work together. And one fascinating function of this higher Aqwal, Dr. Dinani points out, is not just knowing things, but knowing what you don't know.
Ah, awareness of ignorance.
Exactly. Animals perceive, but they don't understand the bigger picture. Aqwal allows us to recognize our own limitations, the vastness of what we haven't grasped. And that humility, that awareness, is actually a huge step towards true knowledge. It opens the door.
That makes so much sense. Knowing you don't know everything is the beginning of wisdom.
It really is. And placing this in a wider Islamic context, the idea is that the entire universe exists, sort of, between God's attributes of Rahman, compassion, and Rahim, mercy. This whole realm is considered within the Walaya, the spiritual authority or guardianship of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as the embodiment of the Walaya, the universal intellect. It all comes back to this immense potential for knowledge and connection within.
So thinking of everyone listening right now, this really invites some introspection, doesn't it?
Definitely. How attuned are we to our own inner vision? What's our capacity, our soyu, our readiness to receive this kind of knowledge, this deeper love Hafez speaks of?
Are we actively, trying to find that potential within, or are we still mostly knocking on the doors of strangers, still looking outside?
It's a powerful question Hafez leads us with right from the start. Are you opening your own inner tavern door, so to speak?
So, wrapping up our thoughts on just this one opening couplet, it seems Hafez is powerfully suggesting that what we truly yearn for, that complete knowledge, that divine connection, the Jam-e Jam, it's not out there somewhere else.
It's right here, latent within us, accessible through cultivating our highest intellect, our equal, and embarking on that inner journey of awareness.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought to chew on, I think. If we really do possess this potential, this world-revealing cup within us, what does that actually mean for how we live? How do we start to genuinely recognize it and, use that potential in our daily lives?
That's the ongoing exploration, isn't it? The journey Hafez maps out in his poetry.
Absolutely. And we've only just scratched the surface today. There's so much more to uncover in Hafez's wisdom, and we're looking forward to continuing these deep dives with you all.